April the 19th in Syracuse, New York for 2CW. There's going to be a true international incident in this corner. You have the man who is stronger than death, Matt Hardy. And in this corner, you have Australia's finest export, courtesy of Japan, Rayon Fujiwara. Now Rayon, I'm going to be completely honest, I wasn't very familiar.
He's a former WWE superstar who came to fame alongside his brother Jeff as an exciting tag team duo, the Hardy Boys. This weekend he's in Central New York for 2CW's first pay-to-stream wrestling event, Living on the Edge 9. We're pleased to welcome professional wrestler Matt Hardy. Thanks for being on Bridge Street this morning.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, talk a little bit about the events. You got one in Watertown and then you got one tomorrow at Drivers Village. What can people expect?
They're both going to be great events. 2CW is a local company based out of Syracuse here, and they really are one of the better independent companies around. Guys from all walks of life in the wrestling business come here to perform. Tonight, I'm a former WWE guy. AJ Styles, who's kind of the heart and soul of TNA, he's going to be here tonight. Yeah. Kevin Steen, who's the heart and soul of Ring of Honor. So you have a little bit of everything here tonight. And they have a great roster themselves here in Syracuse. And this is a great wrestling area, always has been for WWE or whoever else. But Watertown tonight is their first ever pay-per-view that they're allowing the fans to buy and watch worldwide. So it's going to be an awesome, really cool, historic event for 2CW in Syracuse.
Well, now, Matt, so I was, as a little girl, and I don't have much time nowadays, but I was a huge WrestleMania fan. So I'm curious to know, WrestleMania was just last week. Do you have any favorite memories from them in years past, or anything that stands out?
I mean, that was my brother and I, it was our dream just to one day be the tag team champions one time for WWE, and we did that 7 times, and we both got to participate in several WrestleManias, and probably one of my favorite memories is just going out into a WrestleMania, which was our very first one. We were kind of really finding our way, and we went out there and we had the first ever triple threat ladder match, and it was a show-stealing event that we had, and just the people, someone just here in the studio asked me about it and said they loved the match today, and I always hear about that match, and it's been, God, almost 15 years ago, and people still talk about it. So
yeah, it must feel so
pretty
good,
magical.
right?
Yeah, to be part of history, something that people will always remember.
What is it about that? I mean, because I remember even before Sistina. I mean, this is back in the 80s, with Hulk Hogan, the Iron Sheik, and all these guys. What is it, the staying power of professional wrestling?
I think, wrestling at its core is storytelling. It's like good versus evil. There's any story, there's a hero and there's a villain. And in wrestling, it's something where you see these guys are like living, breathing superheroes. They're in the ring. They're like a stuntman that only has one take. We go out there and we're great athletes, and also we're entertainers. And it's just the most unique combination. I think people understand that we're great athletes, but they also understand it's entertainment now. And I think as long as you go out and you put on a great athletic display that's entertaining and you bring the crowd into it emotionally, there's just something special. It's truly a special niche.
And there's a lot of practice that goes into it, because there's a lot of intricate moves that go into it now.
There is. I mean, it's one of those things. I think I'm old enough and I've just done it long enough. I just kind of walk into the ring and do my thing. I'm kind of past that now. But there is. It's one of those things, and WWE says it, 2CW would say it as well, like to all the kids, like, don't try this at home. It is very dangerous.
Yeah.
But it's truly an art form, and it's weird because you're in the ring with another person, and it's like you're kind of putting your life in their hand, and you're hoping they don't hurt you or take advantage of you in any way. It's really an interesting thing, and it truly is an art form that is the most unique combination of sports entertainment that there is.
Well, and speaking of storytelling, what can fans expect over the next couple days in the events, and are there any interesting storylines or anything that we should know about?
I think so. Tonight there's a couple dream matches. There's a tag team that is returning that hasn't teamed in many years. That ECW, which was a very hardcore, like underground fan favorite promotion back in the day, which gave WWE and WCW a run for money, kind of had made them do better things. Mikey Wimprek and Tajiri, they're teaming again tonight against one of the top tag teams here in 2CW, so that's going to be an interesting match. Kevin Steen is taking on Alex Shelley, a guy who wrestles primarily in Japan right now. I'm wrestling a guy, Jason Axe, the Juggernaut, and he's 2CW's like really homegrown talent. He's their guy. So tonight he's getting the test of his career against Matt Hardy, the man who's stronger than death and will not die. So I promise you, I'm going in there, and when it's all said and done, he's up for and in for a very unfortunate twist of fate.
Oh, so
that's my finishing move. You got to have that play on words.
So are you going to be the bad guy then, since this is a homegrown guy that you're going up against?
No, he's a homegrown guy, but I think he's a bad guy. He's a villain. Okay. And, Syracuse is my area. These are my people. So I'm going to be the good guy here. Although I do kind of bounce around and I play a different role in several different places, and I enjoy that for a performer and an entertainer. And for a wrestler, it's very rewarding, and it's fun to have different creative outlets. You know, you don't always it's a great escape to get into the ring and be the bad guy.
Well,
I was going to ask one last question.
Yeah.
Do you have any rituals before you go into the ring? Things that you do every time?
I do. There's a couple things that I do every time. When I get dressed, as I put my pads on, I always have a pair of shorts that I put on. As I put on my knee pads and boots, and I call them my lucky shorts. Like when they're gone, or I lose them, or they rip or tear, I'm going to be afraid that I'm going to get hurt in the ring.
So you're like any athlete. You've got superstitions.
There's definitely
like
rituals, and always my hair tie. I put in my right pocket. I have a middle pocket in my pants. My hair tie always goes in my right pocket. Those are my things. If I do those things and fulfill my rituals, I usually have a good night.
There you go.
great. Well, we want to remind people about the event. 2CW Wrestling will take place this weekend, tonight in Watertown at the Fairgrounds Arena at 8 p.m. And it will be the promotion's first ever streamed event, which you can purchase tickets for only $10 by logging on to 2CWWrestling.com. And then tomorrow at 7 p.m., Drivers Village. More info can be found again at 2CWWrestling.com. Great. Thank you so much for being here. So great to see you in person.
Thank you very much. And I was just going to say in closing, like anyone who watches WWE or TNA or any of the big products, you should definitely try out 2CW because it is on the level of those products, and the talent they have is top notch. So it's going to be an awesome event. I'm very happy to be a part of it.
Well, we're happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Keep coming back. I got a family to feed.
Get with it, boy.